He got problems, she got problems. Only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? Welcome and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another story time, and welcome to the blueberry hunt. So, let me give you a little backstory. So, my sister is afraid of snakes, terrified, terrified of snakes. And I don't know what happened to make her terrified of snakes, but I can understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand it. Growing up in the country, like, you had to very much be aware because we are in the country. And as I told y'all, there are foxes, there are deers, there are wild hogs, there are alligators, there are snakes, birds, all this other stuff. Like, it's like literally it's never a dull moment. Raccoons, all that stuff, squirrels, everything under the sun. So you see like the wild kingdom. You see animals that, you know what I'm saying, like you see on TV, and it's like you got to be very careful how you step, very careful how you walk. Like, you have to know the difference between where you're supposed to know the difference between, but you know what I'm saying? Like, most of the time, every snake we see, we just stay away. You know what I'm saying? But it would be very wise for you to know the difference between poisonous, non-poisonous. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a life or death situation. Especially, you know what I'm saying? Like, if people don't have anti-venom, like, life or death situation. So, this it anyway, I'm gonna give you a backstory because like I need to give you an explanation or show you how deathly afraid she was of snakes. At this point in time, my sister is pregnant. She's pregnant with her first child. My mom's porch is literally how it was set up. It was like one step, two, and then it was like this platform of a porch, but it was made out of concrete, right? And then you got to the door. This was before she like renovated, revamped her situation. So at this point in time, she's pregnant, right? And she had walked outside to go next door, which at the point in time, my grandfather was still alive. And then at this point in time, my sister was staying, you know, with my grandfather, and she was staying in my grandfather's house. Because at this point in time, her husband was deployed. So, and her husband didn't want her to be, you know, by herself. So he had her come back home and stay, you know, around family. So when she go in labor, whatever, because he was deployed, it was like, okay, they can call me, you know, once she go into labor and I can come back down. But he didn't want her to be in the house by herself. So he had her move back in with our grandfather. And as I told y'all in a previous story, yes, and I told y'all in this one, Why You Here, my grandfather was like literally like my dad. He's not my bio dad, but he was like my dad. Like, he stepped in. I really didn't see him like as my grandfather. It was like, that's Poppy, like that's dad. Like, he stepped in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so it was like my sister had no problem moving in, you know, moving back in with like our grandfather. Like, she was in heaven and he was too, because somebody else was there. Because at this point in time, my grandmother has already been deceased. So somebody was there, and he had somebody else to spoil too. Like, and then it's like, now you know what I'm saying, you're excited about the baby. Anyway, she was at the house and she was getting ready to go back to her house, which was literally a hop, skip, and a jump next door. It was like, you walk out of my mama's house, you hit a left, walk a couple of steps, grandparents' house. They live like really right next to each other. So she walked out the door to go back home, and all of a sudden you hear all this screaming. Like, she's screaming at the top of her lungs, like going crazy. So me and my mama running. At this point in time, my mama was upstairs and I was downstairs. So we running to find out like what's going on. And she's still on the porch and she's screaming, snake. So we looking because it's, like I said, it's a platform porch. So we looking like right out of the door. So we looking around like, and we looking for the snake. You know what I'm saying? So, and my mom, like was gonna handle it, of course, because she's pregnant. So she going crazy. Get the snake, get the snake. And so we looking, and my mom was like, "Ain't you see the snake?" And I was like, "Oh." And so, like we looking, because again, snakes are very well at camouflaging. So we looking, and so like on the sides, because there's nothing on the sides, like it's a platform porch. There's on the side, so it's like my mom had azalea bushes, and then of course there's dirt on the bottom. So I was like, well, maybe, what I'm saying, I was like, well, maybe it's a rattlesnake mouth. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because it kind of blend, rattlesnakes are brown, so it kind of blend in with the, with the dirt. And so I'm looking, and so she was like, it's over there, it's over there, it's over there. So she was pointing on the left side of the porch. So we looked on the left side of the porch, and my mom said, "Girl, it's." My mom said, "Girl, you doing all that screaming for this baby snake?" And when I say baby snake, it really was. It was very, very small, but it was a baby rattler snake. Like, so you can tell it was a rattlesnake, right? And so she's like, "I don't care. I don't care. It's a snake. It's a snake." And she's definitely afraid. So I understood both sides, but I understood because it's like she's, definitely afraid. And my thing was, it was like, girl, how did you even see this? Like, how did you even see it? How did you even see it? So mom, she was like, "I'm not going anywhere." So mom was like, "Girl, go back in the house." So she went back in the house. Mama went around the back to go get her hoe, an actual garden tool utensil, to get the hoe to chop the baby snake head off. Because usually it's like, okay, well, there's one, according to country, when there's one, there's more. And then the mama ain't too far. Because it's like, it's a baby snake. So, snakes come out of the egg ready to go. Usually mama don't stay around, usually. But, she may kick around for like a day or two. But other than that, snakes are pretty much on their own. They come out ready. And the babies are usually more potent when it comes down to venom than the adults. So, I was, what I'm saying? Mom was like, "Go in the house." So she killed the snake. You know what I'm saying? She killed the snake. So once she killed the snake, you know what I'm saying? Mama was like, "How did you see that?" And so she was like, "Well, I walked over to go look at, to look at your flowers, and I saw the snake." And then that's when she started screaming. And so she was like, "Okay, okay." So, of course she made her stay right there for a minute, and she wasn't going nowhere anyway, because she traumatized. And it's like, no. So she walked all the way where she can see, and I don't blame her, because at this point in time, baby, I look at every step that I take in this building. So I understand. So she walked all the way around because she want to look at her steps, like look at the ground. So she walked all the way around, like my mom's driveway. It was literally like white sand. Walked walked in the road because she could see her steps. Then walked up on the sidewalk to my granddad's house and walked in. She was like, "I'm in for the day," and I don't blame. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't blame her. So, with that being said, I just wanted to explain like how deathly afraid my sister is of snakes, right? All right. Now, we're going to roll it back to this story. We love blueberries. So remember, in this story, the trail, I told y'all it was a trail by my grandparents' house that we went, well, I wasn't allowed to go. I wasn't allowed to go on unless I had an adult with me, because that trail was used for ATVs, ladies of the evening, or current term, midnight ballerinas. Lady of the evenings doing their little business, street pharmacists, etc., etc. The trail was used for multiple plethora of things. So I wasn't allowed to go on the trail without an adult. The trail also had, when it was blueberry season, when it was blackberry season, a great amount of berries that you could just go and pick. And that's why I keep telling y'all, like, it's certain things that I taste and I be like, yeah, I can tell this is processed because I grew up where I could just go pick this, or the seafood came straight out of the sea down the street. If you watch my vlogs, when I go see my mama, I take y'all to the river right down the street from us. So, like, from her old house. And so it's like I'm used to fresh out of the sea, whatever my granddaddy bought. Like, I'm used to him, or him and my mama, like, just bringing some shrimp, blue crab, whitings, and or them smoking mullet and selling them as dinners, because my mama was like, came up with my granddaddy came up with the idea about smoking mullet, and he was like, let's smoke some mullet. And so she was like, well, I ain't got no grill. So they was like, okay, well, let's build one. They took some bricks, build a grill, a little smoke grill, like literally build a grill, took a little thing, laid across the bricks, and put the fire under it and smoked mullet and started selling them as dinners. And people was buying them things up. I'm not crazy about mullet. Mullet leaves a little aftertaste for me, so I ain't really crazy about that. Flounder is very good. It depends on the cook. I love whiting. My nephew trying to get me to taste other fish and get off whiting, but baby, whiting is my bae. Whiting is it for me. Anyway, so like, yeah, like I can tell the difference when it's like processed. I'm cool with processed. I ain't too bougie, but I just know the difference. I can taste the difference. So anyway, so yeah, so it was like we wanted, at this point in time, it was blackberries was in season, and we wanted blackberry dumpling. So my grandmother could take the blackberries, put it in a pot, cook it, it turns into like this soupy type situation, and then she would add biscuits into it. I think it was called, the country name was blackberry doobie, but literally is like a cobbler to make it, you know what I'm saying, more relatable. So literally there wasn't any like cinnamon or nothing when you add to like peach cobbler or apple cobbler or something like that. No, like you boil, cook the blackberries, it becomes like this sauce, and then you add the biscuits in there. It was really good. It was really good. So my sister actually wanted it. My sister is not pregnant. My sister's not married. This is during the time where my sister is a teenager. And so she wanted it. And so my grandmother was like, well, if y'all go pick the berries, I'll make it. And so my sister was like, I'm not going down there by myself. And I was like, well, girl, I'll go with you. And so she was like, I'm not going in there by myself, meaning, girl, you can't protect me from no snakes. So grandma need to go, So grandma was like, all right, okay, because that's what we called her, grandmama. Grandmama. Yeah. Not grandma, grandmama. That was her nickname for us, grandmama. Anyway, so grandmama was like, okay, yeah, all right. Give me some time. When I feel up to it, I'll call y'all, let y'all know, and we'll go down the trail. So she finally got up to it, had on her straw hat, had on her muumuu, and her pinkish orange boots, and ready to go. My grandma wore glasses. Grandmama wore glasses. I'm gonna stop saying grandma. Grandmama wore glasses. She wore glasses. So she had her glasses on. Her hair, when she would go to church, she have a wig. Usually her hair was like, tied up in a little bun in the back, like my mama had her hair tied up in the back. So usually her hair was like tied up in a little bun in the back or whatever. When she would go out for church, she'd wear wigs. But when she was home, baby, you gonna see her little bun in the back. So she was like, okay, come on, let's go. So she ended up she was like, before we go down here, let me go ahead and get this hoe, just in case we come across something. Cool. I was about to say the story time is short, but I think it really is. Anyway, so my sister was like, oh, okay, we're going to pick berries. Come on. And I get her sentiment, because it's like, if I'm picking berries and you picking berries, we have a lot of berries, we have a lot of doobie. You know what I'm saying? Like, process, compromise, work together. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll go. And then I wanted my stuff on my own, where I can not cook the blackberries and just have them in the refrigerator. And when I want to eat them, I put a little sugar on them and I eat them. So we go and we walking out the trail, minding our business minding us. And so I would say half a mile in, here goes the fox. Like in front of us, not like right in front of us, but like we can see the fox. So anytime that there's animals, my grandmother and my grandfather, let me tell you, like I'm so used to saying it on these story times. We used to say grandmama and granddaddy. So grandmama and granddaddy used to say, there's balance. You always respect the animals. Everything is balanced. Like the earth feeds us, but you also have to feed the earth. There's respect. You respect animals. So when people be like, animals are dumb, and I be like, animals are not dumb. Especially like here now, they're calling deers dumb, but it's like y'all tearing down them things habitat, and you talking about why they keep running out in the road. Well, last year that was forest, and now it's an apartment complex, and they coming looking for their home, and you done tore it down to build some homes for other people. But anyway, they know senses, they know places, they know smells. Like they are not dumb. Animals are not. They are very far from dumb. But anyway, it was always like you respect it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, when we go in here, you get a certain amount, but you don't get too much. You don't be greedy. Right? And then she would carry a jug so you can water the plants because you want it to replenish. You want it to be healthy. Like give and take. Avatar. You know how what's her name? What's that lady name? It's Zoe. What's Zoe's character? I forgot her name. But anyway, when she was teaching Jake how, like basically, remember when she was teaching him how to hunt or whatever, and once he because I don't think I can say that on YouTube because I want to penetrated the animal with a spear. I promise y'all, penetrated the animal with a spear, and he started talking and saying, I thank you for feeding my family. Balance, like that's literally how stuff has been passed down. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like you picking strawberries, but it's like, let me water so you will replenish some more. Let me make sure you're still alive so you can still feed us. You know what I'm saying? Give and take, balance. Like you don't take too much. You don't chop down the plant that has feed you. You know, like you don't continually chop down trees that give us oxygen. Anyway. So yeah, so it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like she would do stuff like that. And it was like, okay, like she had a container and grandmama had a container. I had a container because it's like, okay, grandmama's container is the doobie, this is your stuff, and this is my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't no confusion about who's, what is what, yours is yours, mine is mine. So after the fox passed by, it's like, oh, okay, cool. So we walk a few little more minutes, and my sister starts spazzing. Remember, she not married, she not pregnant. She's a teenager at this point in time. So this is my very first encounter, my very first time seeing the fear of snakes. She spazzing. Ah, 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 ah. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So imagine, this is my grandmother. My grandmother, she wasn't that short. She might have been about right here. Maybe right here. She might have been 5'1", the most, if that. My sister is like 5'1". So anyway, remember I said like my sister's spazzing. So how it's set up is I'm on this side of them. My grandmother's here, and this is my sister. And all of a sudden she literally like that. So she grabs onto my grandmother's shoulders. And so my grandmother's saying, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because you you just start spazzing. Like we walking after the fox gone, and then you just start spazzing. So I'm looking around like, what you see? I don't see nothing. No fox, no like literally nothing. No coyote. I don't see nothing, so I'm looking like, girl, my grandmama dropped her bowl, her little container, and she's still holding on to the hoe, right? So she's standing there holding on to the hoe. Y'all, but with my sister spazzing, freaking out, going crazy, grandmama glasses flies off. So my grandma was saying, wait a minute. So with her glasses flying off, she needed glasses to see. So grandmama's like, wait a minute, calm down. What is it? Snake. So we looking. Well, I'm looking. She's spazzing still. So snake. Grandma said, girl, I can't see. You done knocked my glasses off. Calm down. Where is the snake? Angel, where the snake? Now, mind you, I didn't realize like we had an accent, right? So until Lo said something, but I've heard people always say, girl, you country. And I'm used to, because I come from the country, so I'm used to the country. But I didn't realize now once I moved to this city, once I moved here, people was like, you from New Orleans? Like you got like a little accent. And I didn't understand until like I started doing more research, especially after the 1619 project. And I was like, oh, now it makes sense. Because like the Gullah Geechee, like it starts from like Louisiana and going up the southeastern. Like I said, I'm a southeastern country girl. So it makes sense. Like that little, a lot of us coming up on the southeast coast, coming on up all the way up to North Carolina. Made sense now. Or maybe it stopped at South Carolina. I don't know, but it made sense. Because even like going back listening, or if you go in my hometown, like you hear how people talk. Even one of my cousin's wife was like, I thought y'all were from the islands because y'all have an accent. Y'all sound like y'all from the islands. It makes sense because like it's little islands there. It made sense. Now, and it like either so imagine my grandmama said, wait a minute. I can't see. You done knocked my glasses off, girl. You done knocked my glasses off. And so she was like, where's the snake, Angel? Where's the snake? I don't even wear glasses. I don't see no snake. And my sister is spazzing. And so it's like, girl, we can't even see the snake. Where is the snake? You're gonna have to calm down to tell the snake. So to tell us where the snake is. So grandmama was like, Angel, don't move. And everything around is, it's the trail, but it's like forest, it's dirt, it's leaves, it's that this is not lawn well kept. So I don't see that. And it's like, girl, where is the snake? And so grandma was like, you're gonna have to come down. You have to come down and tell me where the snake is. You're gonna have to guard me because you knock my glasses off my face. Y'all, and it's like, where are the glasses? So I'm trying to look and try to find the glasses and don't know where the glasses is. And so my sister was like, to the right. Y'all, my grandma is swinging the hoe with the direction of my sister. I don't see a snake. So my grandmother is chopping this hoe to the right, blindly, just chopping this hoe, chopping to the right. And I said, no, to the right, no, to the left, no, a little to the middle, just chop. My grandma just chopping. I don't know about the grace of God, maybe. Some way, somehow, with my sister direction, screaming, hollering, spazzing, all in one, and I'm standing still, not to move. All of a sudden, my grandma, she did a chop in the snake. Did a flip. And I was like, stay right there. You hit it. And so she just, chopping. And so I was like, it's dead. Literally, I don't know how my sister saw the snake. I don't know how she had a radar with seeing the snakes, honey, but me and my grandma did not see this snake. So she like my sister was like, it's dead, it's dead, it's dead. So my grandma, she was like, you can't walk, you can't walk, you can't walk too far because I ain't got my glasses. Find my glasses. Find my glasses. So we looking and then walking like, lightly because we don't want to step on the glasses because we don't want the glasses to break. Girl, my sister created such a fuss and a tizzy, and I don't even know how she flung them glasses off my grandma's face. But baby, the glasses was way on the opposite side when we found the glasses. Found the glass, found the glasses. We had already picked like a couple of berries, but we were going in further because there was a certain bush that my grandma wanted to get to that she knew about that had like a bunch of berries. But at this point in time, grandma was like, walk over, walk over. That we've had enough excitement for this, for this walk. We got enough. Whatever we got is what we gonna get off. So grandma put the glasses on. She said, girl, how you see the snake? How you see the snake? My sister was like, I don't know, but I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Which again, I don't blame her because she's deathly afraid of snakes. But this was my first time seeing how afraid she was of snakes. So when grandma looked at the snake, it was a rattlesnake. Poisonous. Didn't hear no rattle, didn't hear nothing. So luckily for us, she saw the snake before it, took off rattle, because the closer you get to a rattlesnake, that's when the rattle start going off. And that's like your warning. And then you ain't getting too much times where it's going, you know what I'm saying? Because literally it's afraid of you, but we're definitely afraid of it because we know like it's poisonous. But didn't hear a rattle, didn't hear none of that. Don't know how that girl saw it, but she saw it, and we were so completely grateful because literally when she knocked that lady glasses out, grandma's glasses fling out, and it was like, girl, because she spazzed out. And grandma, like I said, she's short. She is solid. She was a solid lady, but she was short, and my sister was spazzing. ah, ah, ah. Yeah. So literally, anyway, the doobie was worth it because we did still had doobie, and then also, we had a little story to tell. We told everybody else's Uncle Daddy, of course, at that moment, don't go back in there. Stop going back in there. Don't go in there no more. Right. We did not stay out of the trail. Well, I didn't. We did not stay out of the trail, and grandmama didn't either, because she knew about that bush. And I think it was easier for her to go by herself because she never asked us to go with her. She never asked us to go with her again. I guess she was like, you know what? I can see on my own. I'll go get the berries on my own, child. I can't. I knocked them lady glasses off. Anyway, that's the story time in the blueberry hunt. I told y'all this was short. It's short enough. Anyway, I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Let me give you a little black blah 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 blah. Y'all can't see me. Kind of dark. Hold on. That's what we used to. Here we go.